One person was sent to the hospital today after a car accident in Holyoke. Crews in Holyoke responded to Northampton Street this morning after receiving reports of the accident. Officials asked residents to avoid the area while crews worked to clear the scene. One minor injury was reported and that person was sent to the emergency room. The scene has since been cleared and that area has reopened to all traffic.